Hi, I'm Tolu, the author of Why and How Women Are Exploited by Men Worldwide. And as you know, you're now on Author Tolu 2 channel. And what you will be able to do is to simply hear or listen to the book rather than having to read it. So that way you can come and listen to a little bit and cut it off and come back. Or you might want to stay and listen to not only a specific channel, a specific series, or a specific chapter. You can come back and listen to all the channels. What you're going to be listening to today is cultural and legal practices. This is, I think, the most important chapter in this book of 20 chapters of Why and How Women Are Exploited by Men Worldwide. Because everything that you deal with or someone you know deal with, just your existence is based on cultural practices all over the world and legal practices. The the one thing that always amazes me, and I talk about it very briefly in this chapter, is that did you know that there have been more laws longer, for a longer period of time, to protect animals than there have been for protecting women and their rights? Just think about that. The animals have had laws where you couldn't just go around beating your horse, but you could go around beating your wife. So anyway, with that, I'm going to let you listen to chapter 4, cultural and legal practices. And don't forget, bring your friends, tell your friends, and most importantly, be sure and leave comments and contact me and tell me what you think. I don't care that you don't like it. These are the facts. I'm just calling them like I see them. And ladies, I'm going to keep this on a positive note. Please do not contact me telling me all men are not bad. I didn't say all men are bad. I just said all men are men. Now, if you don't think, what you know, we're at 2.2 men who are wonderful, and that you're right. There are many men who are wonderful. I'm not talking about them. If you know somebody, a guy that's wonderful, this has nothing to do with any particular guy or individual guy. Understand this. This book is based on how things are set up. You didn't have any participation in it. Why you didn't have any participation in it? Because you're a female. You didn't set stuff up. You didn't make the rules. And so you are living and trying to function based on some rules that someone else put in place for you. So, listen to the chapter. Thanks. See you next time. This is Author Tolu 2.
Why and How Women Are Exploited by Men Worldwide. Chapter 4, Legal and Cultural Practices. There is not a country on the universe or in the universe that either has not or does not incorporate cultural and legal practices that exploit and suppress the female. And what this exploitation and suppression of the female worldwide creates and nurtures is, in some instances, a second-class citizen, and in other instances, females who are not as respected and valued as the animals around the place are. It runs the gamut in terms of females being suppressed and exploited. And the way people or males do this, they set up cultural and legal things, laws and standards by which that sanctions the female being exploited. There are so many examples of it all over the world, and I mean, and I'm talking about, that includes Western cultures, that includes the United States. We here in the United States, as females, are still battling to either get what we deserve, and if we have made any inroads, to maintain that. And that's true whether you're talking about any one of the 7 continents that you go to. You can be assured that the females are second-class, third-class, or fifth-class citizens, and or have been. In other words, it's degrees. You might. It may be the case that females 20 years ago were fifth-class citizens or non-existent in terms of rights, and today they may be second or third-class citizens. I mean, you're still behind, you're still not right. And then what people who are in power, in this case we're talking about the males, do is, you see, this is all, again, about control. And how do you control, and how are you able to perpetuate something that is just, there's no basis for it. You control one group, in this case the males, control and suppress females. There are several ways that it's done. One, you set up the culture and mores for your area to support what it is that you want to do. 2, religious practices, which is one of the biggest ones. And 3, the laws that you write. So if you have said, in essence, that in this area, the accepted and only the accepted practice of doing something is whatever it is that they've lined out, then you have the court who validates that and may even take it further. Then you have the religion also speaking to suppressing that person and setting the religious culture up to do that. Then that person, in essence, and in this case we're talking about females, have been like this term hog-tied is one of the best terms I can think of right now. And being hog-tied generally when someone is hogtied, you think of their hand, both sets of their feet being tied together, and they're on their back, and there's no way they can get up. There's no way that they can move. There's nothing they can do until they can't get up. They can't do anything until you remove those ropes, because they can't get up off of their back and, tied up like that. And I mean, I'm not, certainly, there's no correlation between women and hogs, absolutely not, other than just this term being hog-tied. And that's what, when culture, religion, and the law all says that it's okay, and in fact, not that it's just that it's okay, but it is expected that any man can be in charge of any adult woman, you've got a big problem there. And it's a very lopsided one. And it's one that's very difficult to get out of, because what happens is all of the places that one would think that they could go to help them and for support in seeing that this is wrong are the institutions. You see, what this is what is, it's been institutionalized. Abuse of females and making females third, fourth, second, anything other than a first-class citizen has been institutionalized. And these are the primary methods by which you institutionalize whatever it is that you want to do. You have, again, when you have the law, you have the religion, and then you have the culture, or mores, all saying that it's okay for a brother to, in fact, not only whip his sister, but in many instances, kill her, and consider it an honor that he's done so because she has shamed the family in some form. I mean, whatever it may be. Now, in many instances, in many parts of the world, you hear that, as an example, a young woman was killed by her brother or some other male relative because she got pregnant. Well, why didn't they go kill the daggone guy, the male who impregnated her? And oftentimes, that guy who impregnated this woman or girl was a grown man who knew better and who had taken advantage of the girl. In most cultures, it is not easy, and oftentimes it's impossible for a young woman or a woman of any age to refuse sexual advancement from a male. Now, remember, see, this is why this is so ludicrous and ridiculous, because if you set up and institutionalize that men are in charge and women basically often must, for a number of reasons, have to do as the man has bid for them to do, then if this man has approached her for sex, how easy is that going to be? How all of a sudden she has all of this power and the institutions are in her favor and working with her to be able to protect herself and to say no. So, all over the world, they're just, there's a whole chapter, this could be a whole book, but I'm only going to share a very minuscule portion of the many ways that culture, law, and culture help to victimize women worldwide. the laws in many countries do not give women any right whatsoever. Oftentimes, even to the extent that if they are raped, they can themselves find themselves in jail for being raped. And now, I mean, you when you hear this, if you've not been familiar with these kinds of things, it sounds unbelievable. It's like, what is this person talking about? Is she crazy? But it is true. It's a fact, and it's documented. Divorces, the right to the children. In most countries, the children belong, and I use the word and underline, belong to the male. That's established culture-wise, it's established religion-wise, and it's often established, and it's established in the law. So, you know, when you leave, you have no right as a female to those children unless the guy, for whatever reason, allows you to have the children. It's not an accepted practice that you will be able to carry your children with you. Now, if you can't carry your children with you, then, and the children belong to the male, again, that sets you up as a female to stay in a bad, oftentimes brutal and abusive situation just so you don't have to give up your children. If you're not allowed to get an education, many countries, females are educated, if at all, last. Any idiot or boob male who wants to be educated, if it becomes, it's not an either or, it's always going to be that male. Even he may not even be the one with the highest IQ. It is he who will get the education or the trade, trade training. So again, if you're not able to provide for yourself, you're trapped. If the society and the laws and the culture and the religion has said that you don't need to be educated, then what they're in essence saying is that you have little or no value. And again, you've been hog-tied with another set of ropes because you have nowhere to go because you can't make any money. You can't provide for yourself. Same thing with inheritance. Most cultures, certainly if not most cultures, will give and it's the money and land, the animals, whatever it is that they have to pass on to the male of the family. Not divided up amongst the male and the females, but give him all of it. Now, if he deems to let you have a chicken, then that's on him. He doesn't have to. So you as this sibling of this guy, you see, again, you're in a position where you got to ingratiate and prostrate yourself before this male family member in order to even maintain yourself once the head of your family, which is going to be your father, has died. Now, I point this out. Again, notice what I said. Your mother and father both could be living. And the father dies in many cultures. It does not go to his wife and your mother. It goes to the male. The male could be out there on the back of a wagon drunk. But when the father dies, even though every female there has been contributing to whatever they have by all sorts expensive means the market, having a garden, something more sophisticated or another. It doesn't matter. All of that you've contributed to then goes to this male. If you do not have a brother, oftentimes people will find a uncle, a nephew. But again, you see where I'm going. These are all additional ways of keeping and suppressing women and keeping them down. If you don't have money and you don't have resources, you don't have the community that says, and the rest of the community that agrees that these are the standards, the minimum standards by which you should be valued, and this is the treatment that you should not receive, an abuse that you should. This is the treatment you should receive, and this is the abuse that's not acceptable in this community. Then you have no hope of climbing your way out. It's a very dangerous environment for a female. In many, many cultures, it's very dangerous to be a female. So, as a female, it doesn't matter whether you are 5 or 35. There is and will be a male that has control. You're under a male's domain. If there's a saying that goes something like this, females belong to their father. Once they get married, they belong to their husband. When they become elderly or their husband dies, they belong to their son. So it's this concept that some male, regardless of his lack of abilities as a fellow human, or his success or lack thereof, there's always going to be a male in charge of and ruling over you at every point in your life as a female. I mean, the man could have been born retarded, and there he is telling you as a genius who is a wizard in some area of finances what to do, and you are expected to listen to this guy and to abide by what this guy says. This is particularly overt in other cultures outside of the U.S. Now, the way it works out in the U.S. is that a lot of women have divested themselves in one form or the other from being in that position with males. But what they end up doing is picking up some bum and carrying him like you would carry your child. And the guy resents the woman. He wants to enjoy all that she has and have accomplished, but at the same time he resents her. So men traditionally, as well as into the 21st century, have come up with cultural and legal means to keep women hogtied. Good example, another example is the females have been in many tribes, especially in Africa, had their clitoris cut in such a way, it's called female genital mutilation. Well, your clitoris as a female is where this is where a female has and gets all of her sexual pleasure in her clitoris. It is not the opening. It is not the vagina that the female gets her sexual pleasure. Her sexual pleasure comes from the clitoris being stimulated. It is the guy who inserts his penis into the vagina that the friction that gets the friction of going back and forth that gives him the pleasure. So that if you have removed the ability of a woman to get any pleasure at all, ever, then that has said that you're just there for me to serve my pleasure and my needs, and it has nothing at all to do with you. It's just basically, it's just about for me. And that's how it is. Now, the process, that this clitoris mutilation, and it is a mutilation, and the reason it's called a mutilation because it's not done in any hospital. It is not done by a doctor. It is done under the most primitive, crudest circumstances that you can imagine. Any object that could be found that's sharp enough will be used to cut the skin from around the female's clitoris. This female could be 10, she could be 5, she could be 12, and of course many of the girls who go through this mutilation of her clitoris end up sometimes dying, sometimes having an infection, never ever being able to, it never heals properly, it's always painful, sometimes a keloid will form. There are so many horror stories. No one has been willing to discuss it. The women themselves who've had it done oftentimes will just prefer, if they can ever get away from that particular situation in terms of living in the country where this is required, they don't ever want to even have sex. They don't ever want to see a man again. Sex means pain. Sex means having someone to use you like you are not human solely for their purpose. Now, this continues to be popular in many areas of Africa, even until this day. That's just only one of the extreme situations or cases where women have and continue, or females continue to be hogtied, culturally and legally. That is a cultural practice. So you see where I'm saying how the cultures have been designed by males for themselves, because anytime someone is designing something, they're going to design it to their benefit. So the thought was and is supposedly that women wouldn't be interested in other men and having affairs or running off with other men if they didn't derive any pleasure from sex. They would just be sitting right there in the village while this guy goes from household to household or room to room with his other wives and concubines having sex. Because as is the case in many cultures, if not most, men have been polygamous, where they had as many wives and women and families, oftentimes under the same roof or in the same compound, as they could possibly get or have, while each of the women just had the one husband, and he took turns going from woman to woman to woman to woman, and it could have been arranged based on any number of factors that it is the man or the male who decided when and how he was going to set it up. If he wanted to stay with one wife or woman for a whole month at a time or a week at a time, or visit different women on a weekly rotating or daily rotating basis, it was all his choice and only his choice to decide if he was going to come and see you and anything else that regarded that. Now, of course, the one, and this helped to pit the women against each other, even though they had to make pretend that it was a family, mutual, nurturing situation. It cannot be and could not be, even though the woman could not display that, because as time went on, as an example, if the guy became aggravated with you, or your children, or you had not produced children, or you had not produced males, or anything that the idiot wanted, he then didn't have to come and visit you. And if he's not coming to visit you, then you have no way of sharing with him what's going on in your particular section of the household and what's going on with your children. So whoever the favorite or women or wives are, then their children are the favorites. Because the thing with men love their children to the extent that they love the child's mother. And if they fall out of love or the mother falls out of favor with the father, there goes the child. They fall out of favor right along with the mother. It's not like he continues to be crazy about the child and he doesn't care about the mother. It doesn't work like that with guys. So if you're not in favor, let me be clear what I'm saying here. He's not visiting you and wanting to spend time with you as a woman and have sex with you and enjoy you as a wife, then it's not just the sex. Because if you come from a culture where you, as I've said, have had your clitoris mutilated, you're not interested in the sex anyway. But it's the attention, the nurturing, the support, the extra food, the extra piece of meat that you and your family, or maybe your child needs a books. Maybe you would like to send your child to school. He decides which of his children he was going to pay to send them, not to college, I'm talking about to first grade. And so there's so many things that if you're out of favor with him, you and your children become out of favor with him. And maybe you'll find yourself fighting with the other women and wives and their children, and there's no place for you to go. It's nothing. It's not like you could pick up and just say, well, okay, me and my kids are leaving. You're stuck. And it's no wonder women were dying early, because it was just the strain and the stress of holding all of those things in and constantly having to beg and plead and ingratiate yourself and be at somebody's feet and mercy all the time. That causes a lot of health issues. That creates a lot of health problems. That's not healthy. There's nothing healthy at all about that. It's not healthy physically. It's not healthy mentally. It's not healthy emotionally. Since male preference starts before birth, the inequities for females are driven by overwhelming poverty. It is and drives the lack of power that women and girls have to make knowledgeable and good decisions about their health and fertility. It is invaded in the male preference, which starts before birth, and the ensuing inequality is pervasive. It is perpetuated through harmful gender stereotypes. It also is very much a part of government and non-governmental organizations that continue to ensure inequality, which without that, it's very difficult for women to have better opportunities and the facilitation of women being educated. What is further so threatening about the inequality that females worldwide experience because of the gender bias and the perspective of what that creates is the fact that it is females, okay? It is women who are the ones who are responsible for the day-to-day nurturing and care of everybody in the family. The males, the females, the ailing parents, the uncles, and whoever it is. So you can see it's not making any sense at all when the very group that's so heavily relied upon for the nurturing of, from the very inception of the fetuses, for that one and only females can do that. And for the female then to have this gender bias, it just doesn't make any rational or any other form of sense. I mean, for this to be perpetuated against females, the gender bias. Yet, we know worldwide, males, the sons, everything is spent on them first. I mean, men will divorce a woman who, in many cultures, who does not produce that male or son. If a woman can have 50 children, but if they're all females, the woman is considered as a failure to that male because he wants sons. I mean, if he's going to have 30 children, he doesn't object to 1 or 2 daughters. But out of the 30, if he's going to have 30 children, his preference would be ideally to have 29 and a half of them as male. Although the male isn't going to support him emotionally or physically when he gets to the point that he can no longer take care of himself. But he still wants the sons. This is a culture worldwide. And because those sons, even before any human is conceived, it is an understood thing in every culture that the son or having a male child is the most desirous and the better of the two. So therefore, the sons or the males will get better medical care from the very beginning. In many areas and countries, if a female is born, she will be put out for adoption. That's why you suddenly see all these European couples with little Asian girls. You notice that they're always girls. You almost will never see a couple who has gone to any of those Asian countries to adopt a child coming back with a male, because the males are not given out like that. They are prized, and they are what everybody in that society wants. Now, this is not limited to Asian countries, but specifically in the United States, there is an implosion of European childless couples who have and are going to Asian countries and adopting Chinese, primarily is the big one right now, little girls, because they are not valued in that society. And so they are they're put in orphanages, and there are a large number of little Asian girls available for adoption. And since they're not valued, they're not being adopted by other Asians. This is just one area in the world where the fact that even before birth, there is this gender bias against females and towards males. It's not limited to Asia. There is no country who, if you were going to have a gender bias crime committee with countries and people from different aspects, people from different walks of life in each country being held liable criminally for the abuse of females, there would not be a country at all that could not and would not have more males and more people within that society to be held liable for the abuse of females, then there would be enough time to prosecute on those bases. Every country has, and to varying degrees, even to this very moment, have a role, have and continue to perpetuate the gender bias against females. The unequal power relations between males and females, I've said it time and time throughout this book in various chapters. Because of the unequal power relations between the female and the males worldwide, females are not in a position to say no, okay? They're not in a position to say no in any respect to a male, even a junior male, as long as it's a male. And this is from negotiating condom use to just issues where the woman can't say no. Incest is a lot more pervasive than what it is even reported. And in so many countries, the females under the age of 12 are raped. And they often are raped right in their homes by relatives. And this victimization, or being victimized by sexual abuse and rape, is and has been something that has not been exposed to the extent that it occurs. When females are not educated, when they're not given the same opportunities for education and spend most of their time in very important but nevertheless non-wage economies, it creates the social misperception that women's work have no economic value. And if you are not being paid to work like harder than any mule works, 16, 18 hours a week, 7 days a week, and your work as a female is washing by hand or any other form of washing the family's clothes, cooking, gardening, taking care of the children, finding finding the fuel to do the cooking with. The list is endless of what females must do and contribute to the family structure from the time she's able to get up and walk until the day that she's no longer able to move. This is an ever-ending job for the female. But it is one that does not receive any money for. It's not just that she does not receive money for it. She will not receive an equitable part of or division of what the family produce and earn that she can put aside for herself. And as I mentioned before, when the head of that household, who's in other cultures always going to be a male, be it that he may even be a boob of a male, when he dies, no matter how hard and how long or how many females have worked, what they have contributed to that household and that structure will go to a male, not a female. So, again, that puts a female who may be 70 years old having to go to a 20 or 30-year-old male with a smile on her face and her hat in her hand, because he is controlling her ability to even stay within the household and how she is treated within that household in terms of what is given and shared with her that comes in through the household. It's a vicious cycle. That's what I'm saying here. It's a very vicious cycle. It is not one that you can pull yourself up out of by your bootstraps, because you don't have no bootstraps. And anytime somebody says they pull themselves up out of their bootstraps, I always say, great. If you got some boots and some straps tied into your boots, but gender bias and a lot of other socially disenfranchised people have no boots and no straps to work with. So it's just a very, very ugly situation, and you have to, as a female who's suffering and living in this under those severe circumstances, make pretend that you don't notice it and not do any complaining and moaning and bitching about it, the inequities and unfairness that meted out to you. As a female worldwide, as a female worldwide, period, you are expected and it's demanded of you that you continue to smile even when you don't want to smile, not to react to the inequities, the fact that you've got to work 3 or 4 jobs in the house, up to sometimes 5 or 6 roles you have to perform in, as well as if you're doing any working outside of the house. You still have to be this mother, this grandmother, this wife, this seductress, this cook, this domestic, this chauffeur, this seamstress. I mean, and the list is without any finite place. And then you have your health issues as a female that you're dealing with on a regular basis. And males and some foolish other females have the audacity to make these really snide, offhanded comments. If you're under 40, males are making comments about if you happen to speak up for yourself or decide that, you have to address the issue, then they want to know if you're having your menstrual period. Because otherwise, at any other time, you're not going, to act like that or respond in that way. So, and that's supposed to be a negative. If you're having this menstrual period that's creating this chemical imbalance, chemical and hormonal imbalance that has you as a female being aggressive,
moody, or emotional. Not to mention that all the stuff I just got through saying that we as females have to deal with and juggle simultaneously. Then if you're over 35 or 40 and you have gotten tired or have evolved or finally reached the point where you're becoming comfortable with yourself and the things that you did at 20 and that was cute and funny to you by the boob at 20 is no longer cute and funny to you at 35 or 40 because you've seen more and in some instances more regarding that particular boob. And so you know better now. You've grown. You've had a chance to have seen what this person is or isn't about, or how things work or not work. And then on the other hand, you just know better. You've grown. So when you are not willing as a female to comply and smile and run and jump and be a doormat for a male at that point of the age, then the thing that you hear is that, oh, she's going through the change. She's in the change. Moving from the stage of being a doormat to coming into her own. And that's basically what the menopause and the change means, is that you're supposed to have energy, time, and acceptance for yourself. You have reached a point where you have spent all of your wasting time and energies and efforts on everybody else, especially your children, if you have any. And now is the time for you to focus and think about and do things for yourself. This is a wonderful time. Don't let someone make you feel that you're less than adequate or have a shortcoming because you now have this opportunity to devote your time, your energy, and your effort and focus on self, ladies. If you can't do it now, you'll never be able to do it. You must keep this foremost, that you must plan and put aside special time for yourself where no one else can use that time for their benefit. And this includes having this time, special time for yourself from your children. Even if it's 2 hours a week, you must do it and use it however you desire to use it, and not let anyone infringe upon it. Not the pastor at the church, not your lover, not your kids, not your job. You must dedicate at least 2 hours a week for yourself. However you want to spend it. Maybe you want to sleep an extra 2 hours.
Maybe you want to read Why and How Women Are Exploited by Men Worldwide. Or maybe you would like to spend that time reading my other book, Oops, Then You're Dead.
That everyone else has to respect that time. That is your time. You, first of all, ladies, must respect that time. However amount of time it is.
You deserve, as a female, the best any society or culture you live in has to offer. You deserve it as a female. I want you to constantly repeat to yourself that you deserve the best life has to offer. you demand that you fulfill whatever it is that you desire to have and to do, and also you are going to make a personal commitment to yourself as a female to find out what makes you happy, what makes you feel good, and that you're going to pursue those things on a continuous basis for as long as you are alive. This is what every female needs to do. That is, be happy, either get sane or continue to be sane, make sure that you are taking care of your health